Welcome to the CurvaCast. I am Jay Gibson Trimble, your host, and welcome back to the 12 days of January. Today is day 6. Yesterday, day 5, I said that I would share today what I did for the prompt for day 5, which was to go somewhere or do something that you haven't done that you absolutely love. And so today I went to the Garfield Park Conservatory. It is truly my favorite place in my entire city, and that's saying a lot because there are a bunch of amazing places here, but it has always been just my favorite place. It's from my neighborhood. I'm from the west side of Chicago, and I used to run around there as a bad little kid, and now I go there to seek peace, and it never fails me. Even though today it was mega crowded, I thought I was doing good. I'm like, if we go really early Sunday morning, and I'm sure it's going to be peaceful. It was not. So many kids, like so many little kids were there with their parents, but I was tuned in, so I tuned out, and I got the peace and the relaxation that I sought, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. But here we are, day 6. This is the point where I like to do like a little recap. Okay, we're halfway through the series, so I like to, at this juncture, check in with myself and with you guys if you're following along and are hopefully participating and adding some of these ideas and concepts and actions to your own life to see how it's going. So let's back it up a little bit. Day 1, essentially our prompt was, are you waking up and ruining your own day? Okay. Essentially, because how we get up and how we start our day is usually kind of like a template for the rest of the day. So hopefully you've had a moment, you've had a chance to kind of like incorporate that ideal into your daily life the past 6 days. If not, hopefully you'll be inspired to do so eventually. Trust me, it makes a huge difference in the quality of your life. Day 2, we talked about how flexible you are. How much grace are you giving yourself, right? Our lives are challenging, they're complicated, they're full, they're all the things. So day 2 was kind of like our way of reminding you to be flexible with yourself. Don't be too flexible, okay? Don't be giving yourself too many passes. But you know what I mean. There are moments when we're really hard on ourselves when we really shouldn't be. So day 2 was kind of like a reminder to give yourself grace, be a little bit more flexible with yourself, especially this new year where we're introducing potentially a lot of new things into our lives, different changes we want to make. We have to give ourselves grace. And so day 3, we talked about priorities, right? And the fact that because our lives are so full and they're ever changing, we have to be conscious of what we make priorities, right? There are things that we probably shouldn't be making priorities that we are. So we need to assess that. But then there are definitely probably a lot of things that should be priorities and we're not giving them enough focus or not utilizing tools and different ways to make sure that we are focusing on the things that should be priorities. And then, of course, we get to day 4, and because all of them tie into each other, it's like day 3, what are my priorities? Are they the good priorities? What do I need to focus on more? Leads us to day 4, where we ask ourselves, are you creating what you need? Which is a huge question, right? Like, am I giving myself the things that I need? Am I creating the systems? Am I setting the boundaries? Because that's something we need to create in our lives as well, setting the boundaries, because folks will step all over them if we don't make sure that we make them clear and stand firm in them. So then we end up at day 5, and it talks about the biggest thing in my life. I've mentioned it before, like the series that I started off back in the fall on YouTube was How to Get My Life Unstuck. One of the things that was very important to me, even in the midst of trying to get my life unstuck and get back on track and get back into the groove of life, I had to have joy. I was not going to compromise on the things that bring me joy. So that's why I still was out doing my walks, I still was doing the things that truly bring me joy, in spite of the fact that my life was not where I wanted it to be. And there are a lot of changes that I wanted to make. I always prioritize joy because I know doing so is literally an act of gratitude, and gratitude is truly the anchor of my life. So I had to honor that, even in the midst of things that are not going the way I want them to, even in the midst of some crazy stuff that really happened, like both my parents being in a hospital at the same time. It was just a whole bunch of stuff that's been going on these past four months, because that was back in August. Well, almost 5 months now, because here we are in January of 2025. But so much is going on in my life, but I still always make sure to interject some joy, even in the smallest ways. And that's how I ended up, you know, going to the conservatory today. And I'm still just smiling because it just felt so good. It just never, ever, ever ceases to not make my life better. And I'm so grateful for that. Just so truly grateful. So here, day 6, it's our day to check in with ourselves, see where we are. Tomorrow starts essentially the first full week of the year, right? And if you've been like me, putting these actions, ideals, concepts into place. So now, here, day 6, we can look back and say, yeah, I did that. No, I didn't do that, but I really want to do that. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to go buy some puzzles or a book or a plant, whatever it is, that will, give you joy. Maybe I want to start using the timer method. Maybe I want to use the reminders on my iPhone, which is so funny because like I upgraded to iPhone iOS 18 only because I wanted to use the reminders. And in the more upgraded versions of iOS, you get to add sections. So essentially, you can create a planner out of the reminders. And I watched this video. I will tag her. I'll link her in the description. Such a good explanation. I mean, an absolutely amazing explanation of how to use the Reminders app on our iPhone. I don't know if you have it on Androids, but on iPhone, we have this Reminders app that's so simple. And I had already said like a week ago that I'm going to start using it more. And lo and behold, they always listen. Lo and behold, YouTube shows me her video, and I'm so glad that it did because I am going to be utilizing it. And I think it's amazing. But I did upgrade the iOS, which I have been putting off because I'm a creature of habit. I like certain things to be the same, but I'm also open to new things. But I always like to wait on those updates on the phone to let all the kinks, get taken care of before I become a test dummy. But anyway, as I said, today, halfway through the 12 days of January, is the time to check in with ourselves and essentially make a decision. Like, are we going to incorporate, some of these ideas, actions, concepts into our life? And if so, how? I know that's where I'm at. I'm definitely incorporating them because, like I said, I created this in 2017. And every time that I work it, it makes my life better. But so, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one.